Come song, today we are going to learn preposition English grammar of class 10. Well, to understand preposition, let's look at this group of words. I'll read it for you. I am teaching the classroom. I'll read it again. I am teaching the classroom. Does it make sense? Don't you think something is missing there? I'll read it again. I am teaching the classroom. Look at the situation. I am teaching. Okay, if I look at it, the classroom, I am teaching, something is missing here, right? In the middle. So I need to link this with this by writing I am. Now read it. I am teaching in the classroom. Now that makes sense, right? Okay, I am teaching in the classroom. After reading this, let's look at the definition of preposition. A preposition is a word used to link nouns, pronouns, or phrases to other words within the sentence. Now look at this sentence now. Classroom is noun, right? Now this is being linked by in with teaching, right? Act of teaching. Now this word is linked by in with this noun, right? That is what the definition is saying. I am teaching in the classroom. And these words are within the sentence, right? Now look at the second one. When we talk about pronouns, this is a noun, right? It is already linked by in with this word, right? Now look at this second sentence. I am eating him. Well, that sounds very weird, right? I am eating him. There's something missing there. And him is your pronoun. Now, if you write down, I am eating with him, that really makes sense, right? I am eating him and I am eating with him are completely different sentences. They convey completely different meanings. Now, look at this. Phrases. Phrases. A group of boys over here. I am talking a group of boys. Now, a group of boys is a phrase, right? Now, if there's no preposition, then it would sound very weird, right? The sentence is, it looks like as if it is incomplete. Now, if I write down, I am talking to a group of boys, that would be a correct sentence, right? And this a group of boys is your phrase, okay? That is your phrase, and to is your preposition, and it is linking with this word, right? Over here, with is your preposition, and over here, in is your preposition. Now look at the definition again. A preposition is a word used to link nouns. This is a noun, right? Or pronoun. I've linked it with pronoun also over here. This is pronoun. This is your preposition, right? And then phrases, a group of boys, is a phrase, and it is linked by to, right? With this talking. So that is how we use prepositions. Now, if we look at it, then there are two things that would be coming up from there. Number one is preposition makes a sentence clear and specific. Isn't it making it clear and specific? Because of these prepositions only, these sentences are clear and specific. And then the next one is they are usually used in front of a noun over here, right? Or pronoun over here, with is used in front of pronoun, right? Or phrases, okay, to a group of boys, means in front of the phrase. That is the thing that usually happens. But sometimes a preposition comes to the at the end of the sentence also, like what are you looking for? That for comes at the last, right? Especially when we talk about interrogative sentences. Now that is what preposition is. And preposition can be classified into 5 groups, in fact. And that is what I have written here. Number 1, that can be classified in 5 groups, and these are the 5 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Number 1 is simple preposition. Look at these words: in, on, at, by, etc. You can see them all, right? Single, single. In, on, at, by, as, by. Okay. Now you can use, or we have already used this preposition here. I am teaching in the classroom, right? And over here, I'm sitting on a chair. I can say that also. And by this sentence is written by me. Okay, written by me. And that's how we can use these prepositions, simple prepositions. And then the next one is double prepositions. Something like onto, into, from, among, etc. These are, there are more of them, and these are some of the examples only. Supposing like I'm walking into the classroom, right? The cat is jumping onto the table. Okay, you have to choose from among those boys, right? From those boys, you have to choose 1 or 2 of them. So that's how we can use these double prepositions. And then the third one is compound preposition. Some of the examples are across, along, without, amidst, etc. Okay. Now see, across. When I say I'm crossing the road, I'm going across the road, I can say, right? And I can say that I'm going along with my friends. Along. Come along, right? Then without. That you can use the sentence also. You have to go to the class without your phone. Alright? And amidst also you can use, you can make the sentence out of this all. Then the more you make sentences, the better you will be. And the fourth one is participle preposition. Participles are, we have like present participles like during, regarding, considering. Well, during can be used like lots of people died during the war. Yeah? And considering, you have to work really hard considering the plight of your country. Right? That is how you can use these participle prepositions. Okay? Then we have at the 5th, we have phrase preposition. A phrase means a group of words there, right? In spite of, for the sake of, because of, etc. There are more. I have written this much just now. In spite of, for the sake of. You have to study hard for the sake of your nation. That is what we can write. We can write so many sentences using this. And then because of, I passed because of my hard work, right? And you can write like that. In spite of, the enemies could not defeat us in spite of being held by so many nations. Alright? In spite of being held by other enemy nations, they could not defeat us. You can just write like that also for this in spite of. Okay, that is the classification of preposition. And well, I hope you have understood the concept of this preposition here and the classification also. But we cannot stop it there because we have to apply. We have to apply, right? We should know way to use them and how to use them is very important. So, in order to know that, we have to know the situation also. Just by knowing the definition of preposition is not enough. We have to know where to use them and how to use them. And for that purpose, we should know the situation also. Like, see, let me give you an example again. I am in the classroom. Now, if I write down, I am on the classroom, and that would be grammatically correct if I go above this classroom on the roof and start teaching. But that wouldn't happen, right? The present situation is that I am teaching in the classroom. So that is why I have to write down in the classroom. So the use of preposition depends on situations also. Okay? Depending on situation, we'll know how to use preposition. Okay? For example, over here, when. When means preposition of time, right? And then over here, where. Where means preposition of place and position. Okay? And then over here, in which direction? That means preposition of direction and movement. Okay, based on that, we can write the types of prepositions also using time, place, direction, and movement. Okay, the first one is preposition of time. Preposition of time indicates when something happens. Like, we have to look at the clock time, festival, period of year, period of days, and also meal time. See, when I make a sentence out of clock time, I will say that our school starts at 9 a.m., right? That 9 a.m. is the clock time. And festival, I can say I can come home at Christmas. Okay? At Christmas. Now, if you say Christmas Day, then you have to write on Christmas Day. But over here I said Christmas only. So we can say I will come home at Christmas. Right? That is the second example you can take for at as preposition of time. And period of year, Tom got married at the age of 20. You can say that also. Okay? That is an example. And then period of days. I'll come home at noon. At noon. Noon is the time, right? Of a day. Period of a day. And then meal time. Let's meet at lunch. Or let's meet at dinner. We can use at in front of dinner, lunch, and breakfast. Okay, this is a meal time. So this is how you can use at as preposition of time. Now moving on to next one, on, preposition of time. Number 2, on. We can use these, to indicate dates, days, birthdays, and anniversaries. Okay, I can say that I was born on the 1st July. You can see that. All right, that's how you can give the example of date and a day. Well, the school starts on Monday. On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the names of days, right? So you have to use on in front of all these days. Birthdays. Well, I can give you an example of birthdays by saying, I will wish my brother on his birthday. It's on his birthday, not in his birthday, okay? And the next one is anniversary. I will go to the school on the 25th anniversary of my school. On 25th anniversary. Means in front of anniversaries, we write on, not in, okay? Now we move on to the next in. In fact, it's just like a pyramid, Over here you can see a triangle. At is used for the smallest time, period of time, smallest, and little bigger it becomes when on is used, right? And when we use in, it becomes the biggest. You can see it here. Seasons, like, I was born in summer. You can say like that. In summer. Or you can say I was born in July or June, months, name of the month. And then you can also say that I was born in 2015. All right? If your birthday, if your birth year is 2015, then you can say I was born in 2015 or 16 or 2010 could be there. And centuries. Okay. You can say for centuries also we use in front of it. Okay, so you can see that in the 21st century, the science has made such a progress, right? In the 21st century, not on the 21st century. That is how we can use in as proposition of time. You can see this time in longest period, on little bit lesser time, right? Medium, and then at the smallest period of time. You can use by using looking at this pyramid. Now we move on to the next. During. Now during is used to indicate or to express ideas that something continues through the whole of a specific period. Now supposing like we write a sentence here, many people died during the war. During means a period of time. Okay? We are using during to indicate that period of time. During the war, war is not just for one day only. It extends, right? Many days, many years also. So we use during in front of the war here. And the next one is by. Now by is used as a preposition of time. By is used to indicate latest time at which an action will finish. For example, we tell our students to submit their assignments, right? We can say you have to submit your assignment by next Monday or this Monday. We can give the deadline by using by. Okay? Now over here I've written you have to submit your homework by 1st July. Okay, that is how we can use by. And then next one is for. Now for indicates how long an action lasts. Now see, for example, I've given I lived in Delhi for 10 years. I'm talking about that entire 10 years when I was living in Delhi. Alright? Now I may not be living there. We were talking about that period of time only. Okay? That is how we can use for as a proposition of time. Then we have since here, since at the 7th. Since indicates a point of time in the past from which some action begins and it continues till the time of speaking. Alright, since when we write since, the example is given here. I am living here since 2015. You know, when we write down since, we have to mention that starting point. Okay, that starting point has to be mentioned. From then, I am staying here and I am still staying here. Okay, that's how we use since. This for and since are a little bit different. For, I may not be, I'm not living there. I'm just telling that I lived there for 10 years. But when I use since, I'm still living there. Or I'm still living here. That is how we can use since as a proposition of time. Now, next one is from. Okay, look at this now. From indicates from as point of an action. Now see, walking is an action, right? That could be in the past or in the future. I can show you this example. I will walk from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Over here you have to mention both the starting time as well as the ending time. Unlike since. And since we mentioned, we have to mention the starting time. Okay. Now this is how we finish this preposition of time. This is how the preposition of time can be used. These are the 8 points, right, that you have seen. Now we will move on to the preposition of place. Preposition of place. Now in preposition of place also we have at. Now you may be asking, we have already used at, in, and on, and preposition of time, and we are using it again in preposition of place. Of course, we can use that. Over here, it conveys different meaning, and then in time, it conveys completely different meaning. So we have to use at here also in preposition of place. Now, over here, it is used to show exact points. Now, see, when I talk about it, I am at the school, means school is the exact place that I am in, right? And that is how I can use at as a preposition of place. And then I can say that I am at the gate also, right? At the gate. Now, this is used in a smaller space, in fact, right? The gate means a specific area, a specific place, right? Now, we can use on now, number 2. Preposition of place, number 2. On. The on is used to indicate a particular area or a land where something is. Right? Place is, like I can see that on the street or on the highway. We can see on the island, or we can say on the mountain. It's an area, a specific area. Over here also you can use pyramid, like this triangle. At is the smallest area, on could be a little bit bigger. I can say that I am waiting for you at the gate on the highway number 2. That gate could be on the highway number 2, all right? Or at the gate on the street, I can say, right? Okay, in that way I can use that. And then over here you can use in also. Now see, this is how you use on as a preposition of place. Then it can be used to indicate you on the mountain, islands, and areas. All right, and now this is the preposition of place. Then we will move on to in. Number 3. Now this is used in little bigger places, bigger areas like big cities. We have countries, we have continents. I am in Delhi. You can say that, all right? But you cannot say I am in the school. You have to say I'm at the school, all right? Then see, I am in Europe. That's a continent, all right? That is how we use in. That is why we say that the in is the biggest area, on is medium, then at is the smallest. This is how you can understand the usage of at, on, and in. Okay, that is the preposition of place. We use preposition at, on, in as the preposition of place, like this. Then we have preposition of position also. It's somewhat same like place, but it differs a bit. I can show you that. Preposition of position. Now over here we're talking about under, above, or you can say over. Sorry, number 2 I can write down underneath. Number 3 you can write down over. Number 4 you can write above. Okay, and you can write down below or beneath. You can say beneath also. Beneath also. Now see, under. Under is the position, right? Supposing a cat is sleeping under the table, I say cat is under the table. In relation to that table, it is vertically under the table. It has to be vertically under the table. And somewhat same is underneath. You can say there's a dust underneath the carpet, right? underneath the carpet, there's dust vertically under the carpet, right? And over here, over can be used to indicate that a thing is vertically above you. It's covering your area. I can say the blanket is over my body. All right, blanket is over my body. Whereas we can use above not to indicate vertically above us. Like if I say that the church is above me, my house, okay. The church is above my house. Now, if I say church is above my house, it is not like my house is under the church. It's not like that. Otherwise, the house will get crushed, right? It is like, the church is somewhere at the higher area, higher level than my house. Somewhere higher area, not vertically on my house. That is how we can use above. That is why above and over are quite different. All right, over means vertically above you, and above is somewhere at the higher place, not on you. All right. Now that is what below also tells us. Below and under. Below. Under means vertically under the table. Vertically. Okay, the cat is under the table. Then if you say the cat is below the table, it may not be vertically under the table. It may be somewhere below label, at the label which is less than the table. That is what is indicated by below. Okay, when you use below and under, we have to be careful. Under means vertically under. Below could be somewhere at the lower level of that thing. And then this one, over and above also, we have to be careful. Above is not necessarily vertically on the top of you. It must be somewhere at the higher level. Okay. Now this is how we can use this preposition of position. When we say that the book is on the table, it's also a kind of position. The position of the book is on the table. And I'm in the classroom, right? And now we will move on to the next one, that is preposition of direction and movement, okay? Direction. Now, direction can be, number one is from. Now here, when we talk about preposition of direction, and when you use from, we're talking about the starting point or departing point. When I say I will go from Delhi, means starting point is Delhi. I'm doing something and the direction is from Delhi. Okay? And then again, if I say our train will depart from Dehradun, depart from, that means the direction is from Dehradun, departing. That is how we can use from as preposition of direction. Then we have number two, off. Off can be used in relation to the surface, when we say that the rocket shot off the ground. It's shooting off, the direction is going away, right? And sometimes they say, keep off the grass. The gardener may say that, right? When we go to the gardens, they say, you stay away from the grass. That's what the gardener is saying. He may say, keep off the grass. Those are the sentences that you can use as examples of off. All right? Now, we have number three is for. Now, see, for is used to show direction only when the verb indicates the beginning of a movement. Okay? And now it's just like this, I am leaving for Delhi. I am leaving for Delhi. That means I'm going for Delhi. You cannot write down to. You cannot. I'm leaving to Delhi. That's wrong. Okay, that is used in a different context, a different sentence. Now here I am leaving. Leaving for what? Now leaving for Delhi. All right. This is how we can use for. All right, in a sentence. This is an example, and that is the movement. You know, leaving is your movement. You're moving. Now this is number 3, and number 4 we use against. Against. Now against could be quite opposite, right? Opposed to oppose or disagree, right? If I say that I'm moving against the wind is blowing from that side and I'm moving against it. Or I may say that I am swimming against the wave. Okay, wave in the sea. Against the current, you can say that also, right? This is how we can give example using against as a proposition of direction. Okay, then now comes to. See, and then the 6th one is towards. Right. Okay, to indicates destination or the end point. Supposing if I say I'm going to the school, my destination of movement, that destination is the school. The end point is the school, right? Okay, and then I can say that I will go to the school, or I may say I will go to the market. To is your preposition, and that going is your movement. All right, and then that's how to shows the destination or the end point. All right. Whereas now towards, when you use towards shows direction of something. Now supposing if I say that I'm going to the school, okay, that is the to, right? Now towards means supposing our canteen, school canteen is behind the school. And then if I say that or if somebody says that he is going towards the school, or he has gone towards the school, somebody is looking for me, and then somebody says that somebody else says that he has gone towards the school. So I went towards the direction of the school. I may have gone to the school. I may not have gone to the school also, because that is just the direction only. I may have gone to the canteen also, or the places nearby the school, which are in the same direction. Okay, so this is towards means it does not show or indicates the destination or the end point. It shows probability only. It just shows that direction only. I can say, I am going to the school. To means I'm definitely going to the school. End point is there. But if I say I'm going towards the school, I may go to the school also. I may go to the canteen, which is nearby the school, or some other places on the ground also there, which is in the same direction of the school. All right. Now that is how we have to differentiate between the usage of to and towards. All right. Now we will move to the next one. Preposition of movement, or you can say travel also. Let me rub this. Now for this I have got across, number 1, preposition of movement, or you may say travel also. Across is used to indicate movement from one side or one line or a space or an area to the other side, right? If I give you an example of this, I went across the road. Across. Now you can see this is the noun, right? And then it's linking this and this here. Showing the relationship between this and this. And then across means I'm going from this side of this road to the other side of that road, right? This is how I can use that. And number 2, into. And this is very important. Into and onto. Now see, into as a proposition of movement, I can give you an example, like it shows the movement, you know, of going inside the volume, right? If I say that I'm walking in the classroom, just now I'm walking in the classroom, in is that place, you can say, you can say position also, but you know, I'm already in the classroom, that's why I'm walking in the classroom, right? But as a movement, into means, if I say I walked into the classroom, then what I'm saying is I'm outside the classroom. Then I'm coming inside now. I'm outside the classroom and I come inside the classroom. That is the movement. And I came by walking, right? So I use that I walked into the classroom. I walked into the classroom means I was outside the classroom, I came inside the classroom. This shows that this is the preposition, this is the movement, and then you know this classroom is linked by this preposition, right? Now if I say I'm walking in the classroom, then I'm just walking in the classroom, I'm already in the classroom, right? That I can use in. But if I say into, then I have to be outside, and I have to come inside. The act of coming inside has to be there. So that's how we can use into. And in the same way, we can use onto also. Supposing a cat is jumping, we say it's jumping on the table. The cat was already on the table, it was jumping on the table. The cat wouldn't do that, right? In fact. So if you use on only, then the cat was already on the table, it was jumping on the table. But if you use onto, the cat jumped onto the table, that means the cat was not on the table, it was somewhere else, maybe on the floor, maybe on the bed. The movement, the action of moving onto the table from something else is shown here by writing onto. That is why it is a movement, right? Into is also same, right? That is how we use into as a preposition of movement, and across also we can use. Now I have another one, number 3. This is through. This is through. Okay? Through as a preposition of movement. Now see, through is used to indicate movement from one end of an opening or a passage to the other. Okay? From one end of an opening. Now see, you can say, I went through the tunnel. I went through the tunnel. Inside the tunnel. Right? Right from. You can say I came to the school through the jungle. Alright? You can say that also from the jungle. You know, in the middle of the jungle. And then you can say the water flowed through the pipe. The water flowed through the pipe. This is how you can use the preposition through as movement, okay, as the preposition of movement. Now I have another one, that is between. This is number 4, and then I have number 5 is among. I'm writing these two together because you have to know the difference there. Alright, between. supposing between means there has to be two persons, okay? And among means more than two persons. I'll show you how. See, he divided money between the two sons. Okay, he must be the father. Okay, he divided the money between the two sons. When you use between, there has to be two. Right? Over here, two. You cannot write down, he divided the money between the three sons. You cannot write that. You cannot write, he divided the money between the one son. You cannot write that either, right? So, it has to be, there has to be two of them in order to use between. Alright? Then, among is quite different now. If I write down among as the preposition of movement, now he divided the money, the act of dividing is a movement, right? Okay, so he divided the money among his 3 or 4 sons. Okay, he divided the money between his two sons. You can write down his two sons. Over here you can write down he divided the money among his 4 sons. This among is written here because there are more than 2 sons there. Okay, that's why I wrote these two together, between and among. When you write between, then you have to have 2 sons, 2 of them in the noun here, or pronoun. Then in noun, okay. Then when you use among, then you need to have more than 2 sons here. This is how. There could be, these are just examples only. There could be other examples also, okay. You can say between the 2 hills. You can say among the trees, okay. By tell you again, preposition of time. We learned preposition of place and position also. And then we learned preposition of direction and movement, right? These are the things which you have to learn. These are going to help you in doing the questions like editing and omission that comes in the examination, right? And then also in the questions like jumbled sentences and MCQ type of questions also. And you just practice them. You just have a look at them. You may have different grammar books also. You have a look at them, and don't think that preposition is just a small thing and it's very easy. It's not. It is because of preposition, many students lose marks in the examination. All right? And that is it from me today. Thank you. Thank you very much.